Quantum computing, really? You didn't have to get involved with quantum computing. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Whoa, QMCO. Glad I am not short that. I have no idea if the tape drive business is a good business or not. That's wild. Holy moly. I don't think 𝗣𝗑𝗏𝗧𝗏 has any results. I love how Rigetti and IonQ are down, but qubits, QMCO are like the worst two quantum ones are up. But like the two like somewhat real quantum companies are down. Sound is assured, yeah. I mean, this is like just the wildest alpha if you can hang on to it. It's just, you know, this happened before. This is the first time this has happened in finance. So the question is like, can you hang in? I'm short everything, dude. This mania is gonna collapse. All the quantum, all the crypto, it's over, man. It's Jover. It's so over, it's Jover. I never heard of 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏, sorry. I hope he raises rates so all my shorts crash. QMCO up 125%. Yeah, I think that's right, Jeremy. Yeah, they have the data, they just are lying. Grail's been up and Grail's been down. I don't have any position QMCO, thank God. My average in Rigetti, it's not great. Like 8? I love shorting and going long. What is the sell-off, man? Man, I just gotta tell this Powell about these quantum stocks. He'll be raising rates immediately. Citadel, tell him, man. Yeah, there's way too much risk in the system. When you have something called Fartcoin, go to $1 billion market cap, that's how you know things are getting a little frothy. We're gonna have like a 4-day massacre of all stocks. Look at DJT. Look what they did to my boy. People forgot what it's like for the market to go down. Y'all forgot about Dre. Meltdown. I did this to you. Shkreli did this to you. I don't like how you was talking about me. Their server like overwhelmed the pricing. Who's willing to pay $10 billion for a science experiment? Rigetti almost gonna break 10. Let's go. Tesla. Tesla's a good tell. Gold, I mean, Bitcoin ain't the safe haven asset. Rigetti just won't die, man. Okay, Bitcoin bounced a little bit. I've been just trading it back and forth. Like I covered some here, some there. I popped the bubble. I don't think so. We still have Qubit. Rigetti's like, you know what Rigetti's like? Like, it's like you pin a guy down, put him in a headlock, and he's still like, kicking. I have no axe to grind on these ever. Like I have zero animus, zero personal like vendetta. People didn't believe me when I shorted Sava. They were like, why are you getting paid by a short? I'm like, no, I am the short. I am the big short. I did so much homework. And I know medicine, man. I've been looking at medicine 24 years professionally. So I look at GALT, and I want you to look at the founder, David Platt. This guy started a company to make galectins or pectins for cancer. That company wasn't doing great, so he started a new one. That's what is Galectin today. This guy's nuts, by the way. And he wants the galectins at that point to work for HIV. No joke. HIV or cancer. He pivots to NASH, okay? Then he gets kicked out of Galectin Therapeutics, Inc., the stock you are long, GALT. And he goes and he starts a new company. And he says, no, pectins work for, what do you get? What do you know? COVID-19. Of course, none of these 4 things have ever worked. The publication of NASH, I think you're trolling me, but the subgroups are not legitimate. It's not promising. It's frightening. You spend any time on biotech, I think this guy's trolling me. You know that subgroups after the fact don't really pan out. In fact, I've shown that you can generate your own random number subgroups. You can do, you know, for example, here, let me show you. In Excel, I'll put it in the model just so people understand this. This is what happened in the cassava study. It's going to happen again in the GALT study. So let's just say rand between, okay, 0 and 100. Let's say this is the percentage reduction in a NASH score, okay? And we're just going to say this is what, 106 patients. Okay, and this is the average. And these are random numbers. Okay, so this is drug, and this is placebo. Okay. And we have drug and placebo. Drug reduced fibrosis by 52%, and placebo reduced it by 50%. Now, here's the crazy thing. We can do subgroup 1 and subgroup 2. And let's freeze these results, okay? Here they're identical. Let's just freeze these by copying, pasting. Okay, so these won't change now. So this is kind of what happened in the phase 2. Placebo drug had no difference, okay? But now, if we do the subgroup, so instead of taking all 106, what we're going to do is you're going to take the first, what is that, 53. Okay. And we're going to do B6 to B50, what is it, 58? And here's the thing. If you take these subgroups, what you'll find is that subgroup 1 for placebo outperformed the drug. And I just picked a random part of this that looked good. If I do more subgroups, I could actually find the best subgroup. I just picked the first half. But if I want to pick the second half, subgroup 2, I can play these data games all day, and this is why people don't do this. This is why there's something called multiplicity corrections in clinical trials. You can't just take the same, you can't take this data and keep cutting it until you see what you want to see. You have to look at what you thought would happen. This is not a legitimate way of analyzing data. And if you spent a lot of time in biotech, you would know this. I'm guessing that you haven't spent a whole career in biotech, and that's fine. There's no point of a subgroup. The point of a subgroup is to make believe that your failed experiment succeeded, that it wasn't all a waste of money. So here, the drug group highly outperformed the placebo group, but I just picked a random mean. The mean, there's no difference. But this subgroup looks great, this subgroup looks awful. I just picked a random half of the data. And you could do this ad infinitum. You could say, okay, well, let me choose older patients versus younger patients. Let me choose patients who were in this dose group but not that dose group. Let me choose, and you keep doing this. And this is exactly what 𝗤𝗏 did. And this is because people don't know what Bonferroni correction is. Sometimes called multiplicity correction or adjustment. And it basically means that every time you do a new subgroup analysis, the p-value you have to hit for statistical significance goes up exponentially. And this is stats 101, but very few people know stats 101, and it sounds promising. And it's no different from saying, well, let me pick a game last night. Let's say you bet, I don't know, let's see, there was an NBA game last night. By the way, I bet on it and I bet wrong on it. Just so we're clear, I got smoked. And so here's the box score. Of course it's not a scientifically valid approach. If you pick every subgroup, then that is what's gonna happen. So I'll give you a great example. If you bet on the Bucks, you won. Well, I bet, of course, on the Thunder, so I lost. You look at the box score, you might say, well, in the first half, okay, in the first quarter, Oklahoma City actually scored more than Milwaukee, so they're the better team. If I went to my bookie and I said, hey, Oklahoma City won, pay up. He says, what are they talking about, Martin? They lost by 16. I said, whoa, no, hold on. I meant the first quarter. They say, Martin, you can't just pick the one that worked after the fact. I say, well, we had a better free throw percentage. Look at that. We had 82% free throws and 67% for them. Let's just play the game over again, except make the free throws what's important. Think about how crazy this is. In Bonferroni correction, this is 101 statistics that nobody understands. It's something that just doesn't sort of sound right, but it's what science is all about. You can't just keep looking at here, it's 50 hypotheses, 20 hypotheses. You have to divide the alpha. In fact, I would say it's worse than this. Bonferroni is too kind. And how do I know this? Well, not only does the rationality make sense, not only does the statistics make sense, which is what medical people do, but 24 years of experience has shown me the subgroups never replicate, ever. This never happens. That the drug fails and then, oh, well, what do you know? We saw that if you change it around and you just do the mild patients or the people who didn't have varices at the beginning, oh, no, it'll work then. I'm willing to bet. I mean, I know you might be a successful investor in other fields, but if you're new to biotech, this is one of the top ways people get stuck in biotech. Over and over and over again, they don't understand this point. And we just lectured and taught thousands of people about cassava. And it's the same thing with Galectin. It's the same exact thing. In fact, it's worse. Because cassava sort of had an interesting molecule, kind of, maybe. And there was at least stuff to look at. Pectins are garbage. There is a paper that says that, and I put it in my paper, that says Galectin, that the pectins don't actually bind Galectin-3. Jonathan, it's the CEOs and the management team, they know this stuff. The guy, the CMO, he left the company for a reason. �40𝗡𝗢𝗎. And actually, I know him. I thought about hiring him a while back. Well, Fire Songs, they have, cassava has cash. GALT doesn't have any cash. They actually have debt. So, all 𝗠𝗏, yeah, you can go to, I just tweeted it, IQ. All 𝗠𝗏 has to say is, okay, I want my money back, or I'm going to convert all my stock and sell it all. You know, there was a guy named 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏, brilliant guy, one of the best traders of all time. If you don't know his story, look into it. He ran a hedge fund called Caxton. And they say that he ran a hedge fund, they say that he built Caxton, one of the biggest hedge funds of all time, Caxton on a credit card, if you like that alliteration. And what does that mean? Well, basically, the guy just started out trading commodities, and he became one of the best traders of all time. And he's basically retired. But the reason I'm telling you about 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 is that he, at one point, bought a ton of a stock called Synta. Synta was a biotech company. Bruce, mega billionaire, the money didn't matter to him. Same thing like 𝗠𝗏, perhaps. Maybe even more successful than 𝗠𝗏. No disrespect to Mr. 𝗠𝗏, or 𝗠𝗏. I don't even know how to say his name. I don't know anything about him. Point being that 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 bought all his stock. He even joined the board. It was the first board he ever joined. And it would be the last board he ever joined, because Synta did not work out. Synta went to zero, basically. Bruce lost his investment. What's ironic is Madrigal and DGL merged with Synta, reverse merged, took over Synta's shell, and Madrigal ended up being a really successful company. So a random company kind of beat this guy's investment. And all this froth coming out, all this nonsense. Quantum computing, really? Man, I got something for you. I took so much pain the last few days. You know how painful it was? Looking at my account balance like, it hurts. Martin, why'd you do this to yourself? You didn't have to get involved with quantum computing. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Joke's on you. I was looking at my account balance like, and Bitcoin's killing me. This Bitcoin short, why'd I get involved with this thing? I shouldn't have gotten involved with this thing. Yes, I should have. All those people telling me last night, Shkreli, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything about Bitcoin. I've been in Bitcoin since 2017. Man, I tried to short Bitcoin in 2011. Talking about, I don't know about Bitcoin. You've been here longer than me. Man, who do you think pitched Trump the strategic Bitcoin reserve? Who do you think that was? Let me give you a hint. It was this guy right here. All right? It was me, Austin. It was me all along. No. I tried to short Bitcoin in 2011. One of my analysts pointed it to me. We never shorted it. In 2014, I went long. And it worked out. MicroStrategy down 10%. Now, if Bitcoin trades to 99,999, just saying, maybe we should gas up. Just saying. Someone wants me to look at JVA, which is Coffee Holding Co. This is a microcap. Nah, it's a 20 million market cap, man. I might sneeze and that stock would double. Portillo's, this is some kind of restaurant. Everyone loves restaurant stocks. I don't know why. Energy, man, do I look like the energy guy, man? Okay, QMCO. This one I can look at. Yeah, 20 million to buy a drug company. I mean, you could start a drug company for $1 million and just do generics. Shut up, Vapor T. Let me be a little happy for catching a little shortwave here, all right? Up a couple dollars, all right? QMCO, not Qualcomm. I know, I was thinking of you for eBay, Andy. Still hanging on to the green. Shakeout's done. All right, so how to look at this? I go QMCO on Godel, equity, that's F8, or you can hit tab if you're a noob, and CF for company filings. Same exact thing in Bloomberg. Same thing. We made it backwards compatible. All right, go to the last 10Q. I look at the shares outstanding. That should be on the bottom of every 10Q. There it is, 4 million shares outstanding. So this is a tiny float. 4.7 million shares outstanding. I'm glad I never shorted this. How much cash do they have? 25 million. Any other cash? Any other cash? No. Okay, how much debt do they have? 82 million. So more debt than cash. And when it was a $3 stock, these guys were basically going bankrupt. Now they're lit. They're a quantum computing company. If I was them, my stock just went from 3 to 60. I'd be like, man, we should do quantum computing. We don't even do it. We got to get into this. Okay, they got a revolving credit facility too, so they actually have even more debt than that. They have 100 million of debt, which is insane. Okay. Their revenue is collapsing because they make old style tape drives. Did they do a stock split or something? I think so. They're losing money, so they were basically days away from bankruptcy. And all of a sudden, Google puts out news on a quantum computing chip, which has nothing to do with them, and their stock goes up 20x. Of course they'll sell new equity at this price. I gotta retire the debt. If I'm a bondholder or the bank with the credit facility, I'm telling them, sell some stock right now. Are you crazy? It's all right. The baggies win on these quantum. They'll give it back to us somewhere else. I'm letting you hold your money right now, baggies. Don't worry, I'm coming to get it. Are you DJT baggies? Yeah, we're letting you make some money. Same. All you guys who own MicroStrategy. You're gonna tell me about dose response? I've actually gotten drugs FDA approved. You think dose response can go inverted? When does that ever happen in pharmacology? Seriously, what professional is long GALT? Forget about people with like a little bit of money in their bank, in their brokerage account. But what actual biopharma investing professional is long the stock? It's a clown show. I mean, most semiconductor companies these days are fabless. AMD, NVIDIA. Cupid has a fat NASA contract. There has never been an inverse dose response in medicine. Show me one drug that works better the less you give it. Next time I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna say, listen, doc. He's like, give me 30 cc's of morphine stat. I'm gonna say, doc. I'm gonna smack it out of his hand. Don't you know? You should give 1 cc. He's gonna give me an injection of haloperidol. Stop, man. You can't tell me nothing about medicine, man. And read Vivek's book. I lecture all these big pharmas myself. I'd sit them all up in a row and tell them about themselves like this. CEO of Pfizer. I'd mush him in the head like with my fingers like this. Beta blockers don't have paradoxical effects. They have dose responses. Get out of here. You literally want to see how you're wrong? Let's go to it. Let's look at metoprolol. You're hoping that the extremely rare inverse dose response, which I would argue never happens, applies to this specific drug, which happens to also be apple peel. That's called cope. It's just cope. Accident failed. I didn't tell Vivek to do that one. Listen, I don't care how comfortable you are or not. There isn't a professional investor that's long GALT. I'm talking about any hedge fund, mutual fund that's smart. or anyone at all for that matter, that said, I looked at this thing and I like it. Anyway, let me show you what dose response looks like with the drug that you mentioned. I don't care what you are. You need better analysts. Matt and Acktrav family office too. Have your guys ever picked a biotech stock before? Yeah, I can tell you're new in biotech. Call literally anyone. Ask your best broker to say, hey, ask your guy at Goldman Sachs, say, can you introduce me to a good biotech analyst? Ask your guy at Bank of America, ask your guy at Morgan Stanley, introduce me to one of your clients who's good at biotech. They'll call you up, say, hey, John's good at biotech, here's his number, he's expecting your call. Great. Call up John and say, hey, look at Galectin for me. Do me a huge favor. Let me know what you think. That's literally all it takes. Look, I'm not upset. I mean, we found an actual human being that's long the stock. So I'm not mad or anything. I'm very passionate about it. And look, there's people who are, like I said, Bruce. Look at Bruce, billionaire investor, brilliant guy, decides to take a lark on, a flyer on a biotech stock. It's not going to dent the guy's, the guy put 50, 60 million bucks in this thing. Not going to dent him at all. And it was a home run. And maybe those other stocks are great. I have no idea. But GALT ain't it. Yeah, it's just the dose response post hoc subgroup is like so atrocious. I don't like being wrong, by the way, publicly. IQ is you could just delete your account. I can't delete Martin Shkreli. I've yet to be proven wrong on a biotech that I've publicly shorted. I'm very proud of that. And I'd like to keep that going and extend it. Ask your analyst if he's willing to risk his job on it.